Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Georgia and today I wanted to show you a few of my favourite makeup essentials. These will be things that I'll kind of grab to my face quickly before I have to run out the door, or I'll take with my bag and I'll do my makeup when I get there. A few of these other things are just like essentials that I think to help make minimal makeup look really good. Now I won't be using these every single day, but they are kind of ones that like would be my go-to and I use on a regular basis. I'm just going to start with a few of the tools. You don't always have to have all of these things. I just think it really helps to add something a little bit extra. So the first thing, why are you going Australian? The first thing I'd say is an eyelash curler. This does really help to make my mascara look so much different. It helps to hold the colour a lot longer during the day and everything as well, depending on the mascara you're using. But I just go in and curl my lashes and then put my mascara on afterwards. I don't do this all the time, but I feel like if I'm not wearing any other makeup and I want my lashes to have more of an effect, I go in with this first. A few of the other things I'd recommend is getting a little brush like this. This is for face powder, just you can kind of get under your eyes and set that, and then you can also just do in specific areas that you need. So you're not powdering your whole face doesn't look matte, so it looks a lot more dewy and glowing and everything. Another thing would just be to be a basic eyeshadow brush. This would be useful for obviously doing your eyeshadow if you were going to do a bit of contour or anything, or any other blending you need to be doing. And then also a eyebrow brush. This is a double-ended one, which I recommend as well, just because you can use it to brush through your brows. You haven't got much time. Immediately it makes everything look a lot neater, that you've made more of a effort even though you haven't. And then the other end, I tend to use this to use for eyeliner, so I can double up my eyeshadow as an eyeliner, or I can go and use my eyeshadow as like an eyebrow shadow, you know? But then again, like I said, I don't always use this every single day, and I wouldn't necessarily pack these in my bag for like a quick, you know. Okay, moving on. The first thing I'm going to go in with today is a concealer. I don't always use this, most of the time I don't even bother, but if I want more of a put together look, something that, you know, makes me look good, makes me feel good, then I will go with a concealer. This one is in the shade 20N, and this is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh concealer. I find this one is quite good because it actually is my shade, whereas before I used to use a lot of concealers that were too light for me or very sort of white and try and do just certain areas, and where I do have acne and redness, where I didn't then do anything, it'd be really obvious. But I found with this shade it works a lot better. So most times I'm just going to take a bit under my eyes like that, and I'm just going to go in with my fingers for this. So just blending it out. I take it onto the nose a bit and then also onto the eyelids, just so where it is blended out, it's not going to be so noticeable that I have something underneath my eyes but not on the rest of my face. You can obviously use a brush or a sponge for this, but I was just thinking in terms of it being quick and handy, I'd probably just pat it in like this really. And then I would just take a bit of that onto any blemishes that I just want to cover. It's actually been quite handy having masks, because then I can just put a mask on and not worry about having to deal with this. But for today I'm going to go in and again just pat it in my fingers just to blend it out. This is kind of just to get rid of any redness really. And there it gives me just a little bit of coverage, makes everything look more even, and I can just go ahead and put like minimal makeup on and it won't look that drastic or different. And then the second thing I'd recommend getting is either like a pressed powder or a pressed foundation, or just like a loose setting powder. This will just help to make your skin matte in the places you want it to be matte, and you don't have to worry about putting anything on for like coverage or oiliness and stuff, if that makes sense. You just dab a bit on and reapply it during the day as well if you need be, and it just looks like, I keep saying like make a bit more effort, and you don't have to make an effort at all. You don't have to look like you make an effort, but if you want sort of like the bare minimum of makeup on, but just make yourself look a bit more like fresh or refreshed, then this is kind of like the quick little routine that I usually do, or ideally I would do. Most of the time I skip all these steps and just put mascara and eyebrow stuff on, but you know. So I'm probably going to take this powder wherever I put the concealer, just to help set it and make everything look more natural and like in unison. And you can still see my blemishes and like discoloration through it, but so it just looks a lot more natural still without having to go in for a full face of makeup sort of look. Okay, so I probably should have put this on before I did my powder, but I completely kind of forgot about it because again, this isn't one that I reach for at the moment because I do wear a mask. But if you get yourself a blush stick, these come in so handy. These can be used on your cheeks, on your lips, on your eyes, up under your forehead, just to give a bit of colour. This is the Nudestix Nudies all over face colour in Naughty and Spice, and I tend to just go put a bit on like the high points of my cheeks and then blend it in my fingers again, and then just kind of take it up onto my forehead and temples slightly. This will just help to bring a bit of colour to my face and help me look a bit flushed as well, because where I'm quite pale, I tend to find that if I don't wear makeup or don't wear a lot of makeup or whatever, people will be like,
are you feeling okay? You look really pale.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm just pale. Should I just keep using it? Yeah, I feel sick, can I go home? You can probably get one which is a blush on one end and then a highlighter type thing on the other, so you could do a bit of both. But I personally really like the colour on this one, and it's not shimmery or anything. It is a nice sort of matte shade, so it looks very natural. And I'll take a bit of this on my lips as well. Again, just to add a bit of colour. You can kind of go in and put a bit on your eyes as well. This again is keeping everything in sort of the same colour story, so it looks a lot more natural on your face, and also just looks quite trendy, because that can be like the look that you're going for, is like the monochromatic look, but really you've just only used one product because that's all you've really got time for or space for. Other than that, I do have an eyeshadow recommendation. This is the single, I think like clickable eyeshadows from BareMinerals, and this is in the shade Hush. I do quite like this one. It's probably a bit too light for me to use on my eyebrows, but you could very well go in and use it. I'm just taking an eyeshadow brush here and then just going to put it all over the lid and then just blend it out as well. This again is great for when you haven't got much time or much space, like in your makeup bag or like a handbag just to chuck it in. And it's not going to take too much time if you are doing your makeup when you're out, or like on the bus or the train, or once you actually get to work. It's not going to take long, and there's not too much of a difference either, because I find sometimes if I turn up to work and I have no makeup on at all, and then I go up into the staff room, do my makeup and come back out, and I look like a completely different person, it's kind of like, oh, you've just put a full face of makeup on. But this really is a nice subtle approach to it. Not again that you should care what people think, because you know, it's your face, it's your makeup, do what you want to do. Yeah, I just find this really nice to use, and I might just take a little bit under the eyes there, just what's left over my brush. Again, just to keep everything natural and like in unison. I'm just going to brush through my eyebrows with the eyebrow brush, and immediately that makes things neat and obvious of where I need to put product. This blush is all stuck in my hairline. Let me sort it out. Okay, and then I have to take this end, and I think I might go into this eyeshadow. I haven't actually tried it yet with the eyebrows, but I'm just going to go into this eyeshadow and just run a bit through any sparse areas of my brow. Again, a lot of these products are just great for multitasking, because you can really use a few different things at once, and it just saves space. And it's just easier as well, isn't it? Especially if I'm in a rush in the morning, I can just grab a few bits and put it in my bag, rather than having to try and like find this eyeshadow palette, this eyeliner, this eyebrow thing, this and this. It's just a few products I can pick up and put in a bag so they're ready. Okay, so these two products that I use every single day pretty much. It'd be a mix of a different mascara, this is my go-to one at the moment, and then an eyebrow gel. I tend to curl my lashes, put mascara on, brush my eyebrows, and then put my eyebrow gel in. Sometimes I don't even brush my eyebrows, I just do it this. But this was a tinted one, so it really does help to give some definition to your eyebrows at the same time. And so I don't know, on me I feel like if I've got darker eyebrows, it looks like I've done something extra, or I haven't just woke up, it defines my face a bit more. So I'm just going to go in with this eyebrow gel. This is the one from Eveline Cosmetics. It's the Brow and Go eyebrow mascara with fibres. I just like this one because it's tinted. It doesn't really hold my brows in place too much, but it has a nice colour to it. So I'll just go ahead and put this through my brow, just like a normal brow gel really, but just enough to put a bit of colour there. Just really quick and easy. And I know I did put that eyeshadow on underneath, but I don't usually do that, but this makes enough amount of definition for my eyebrows, okay? And then, like I said, the mascara, I'm gonna go in and curl my lashes. If I don't have time, I won't do this, or I won't grab this. I'll just take my mascara in my bag and go. But yeah, just curl my lashes. I just think it adds a lot more drama and definition to it. And this one is in Brownie Points. This is the Colourpop Volumizing Mascara. I just think in a brown mascara, it's a lot softer, and again, because I haven't got much makeup on, it's not too obvious with the black mascara. And I guess you could probably try, I've never tried it, but you could probably try using a brown mascara on your eyebrows instead of a brow gel. That could be another way of multitasking your products. Ugh. And this is where I find that this brush comes into handy as well, is if I get any mascara anywhere, I usually wait for it to dry, then I go in with the eyebrow brush end and kind of just gently use it to, not scrub, but to move away the mascara that's got into my eyelid at all. It usually works pretty well, and it doesn't take off too much of my eyeshadow when I do this either. Otherwise, you can take the other end if you make sure it's clean without any of that product you're using earlier, and you can probably just get in closer to your lash line like this and clean away any mascara that gets here as well. Obviously depending on the mascara, because I do find some really stick to your face and will stay there or like leave a mark behind. But this is a really good way to kind of just clean up my mascara, because no doubt it will get everywhere, and it is more noticeable when you haven't got any other like really intense eyeshadow or anything on your face. So okay, final thing, I did pick up a gloss to say, oh, this is like a makeup essential, because if you put it in your lips, it just makes you look more glowy, juicy, glossy, you know, and all that stuff. But I don't always reach for a gloss. I'd probably just put a lip balm on top of this, or just put a lip balm on its own, just because then it looks more reflective, and again it just makes you look like you took that extra step, and at the same time you're like prepping your lips and looking after them by putting some lip balm on. But for today I'm going to go in with a gloss. This one is pretty good as well though, actually. This is the BareMinerals, can't remember the name of it, Moxie gloss I think it is, and this is in Sweet Talker. I really like these BareMineral ones because they are slightly minty, so it helps to like freshen your breath, which is always handy, and it just makes me feel a bit more like, you know. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put this gloss on. You can obviously go for a clear one or a coloured one which is already in a shade that makes you look more awake, or just put together or something, and or like a lip balm, a tinted lip balm or something instead. Otherwise, yes, this is the finished look. It's taken me, it says 21 minutes there on the timer, but obviously I've done a bit of things in between. I've been talking and everything as well, but this is a quick little look that I would just put on to get out the door. Like I said, at the moment, wearing a mask and stuff, I don't really bother with this. Sometimes I'll put a lip balm on, and then I'll just do mascara and eyebrows at the very least. Yeah, I just think that all these steps just make me look and feel a bit all put together, and like I made a little bit of effort. And again, like I said, you don't need to make an effort. You don't need to feel like you make an effort. You don't need to make an effort for anybody, and you don't need people to think that you made an effort either. But I like it during the day when I'm having a bit of like, whatever, and I catch myself in the mirror and I'm like, who is she? Yes, you are cute, go! And then I feel so much better about myself. So I do this for me to make me feel better and know that I look good and I look presentable for my standards, no one else's. So yes, this is it. Let me know what you think of the products and what your go-tos are to everything as well, because it's really interesting to find new products, especially ones which you can use for everything, like these multitasking products. I absolutely love things like that. So let me know all of your thoughts and your favourite products down below, and I'll see you again soon. Bye! Yeah.